going to show how to use Chitu Box, which is the slicer for the Frozen Sonic Mini, and then any other off-brand SLA that we get. So open up the slicer and you'll be greeted with this. From here, you're going to go to the File Explorer tab and find your files. Under prototypes, or where are they at? Okay. It's SLA. SW. I don't see an SGW under quotes SLA. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay. It's all of these. Nope. 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 Okay. It's under a different. Oh, this one. Okay, so it's these. These two. Okay. Oof, yeah, those are small. Might as well just print all of them and see how they come out. So once you have them opened, okay, so for some reason, so put them in the wrong units. So if you go like this and you hit scale, you can say it'll be by 2540. Make sure that lock ratio is on. So that's just your scaling factor for inches to millimeters. So we'll get these all clipped. This one. Okay, so now from here, you use the right click to rotate, you hold down the mouse wheel to pan, and then the left mouse button locks onto the platform. So from here, this printer really likes to print with stuff face down or flat. So if I was going to print this one, I'd probably print it down on this face. So if you go to rotate, you can either flatten by face or you can just free rotate by these wheels, but I'm going to flatten by face and select triangle. So I'll go ahead and do that for these. I'm a little bit worried about these nubs. So if it's not perfectly flat, it's going to have a hard time printing. So for this one, I'm going to do the same thing, flatten by face, just select that face. So I feel pretty good about those two. Up here, you've got save, screenshot, like Control Z, copy if you want more than one. This is your auto layout. So if I click this, I can just go, about center. And you can set your minimum distance and everything else. Wall thicknesses, if you do want to hollow them out, just remember that you're going to have a hole in order to do that. But it does have these super cool little windows. And then from here, so this is how you get the parts in. To make sure that you're using the right printer, you'll come over here and you'll go to settings. And this is the only one that we have. This is the Frozen Sonic Mini Rapid Black. So we just want to make sure that all of these settings are set up, and each resin is going to have its own, and then you can add different printers over here. So that's already set. We've got our parts in here. These two are oriented the way that I would put them, because this one's just begging to be printed flat like this. But if we scan through these parts, you can see that anything that creates like an island would theoretically need to be supported. So like on these parts, on the two left parts, I forgot the two, so you can't see me pointing, we really don't have any islands that are unsupported as we work our way up. So I wouldn't put any supports on either of these, but this one is definitely not the case. So the parts on this one that are going to be really hard to print are going to be these pins on the inside here, which is insane to me. It's like they're trying to replicate, oh, I see what they're doing. They're trying to replicate a PCB is what they're trying to do. So if those pins don't work, I'm kind of not afraid. You know, it's like not going to be the end of the world if those pins are broken. And to be honest, if I wanted to make this part easier, I would just lay it flat on this face and print it without that whole connection. But they're probably trying to check fit. So I'm going to remove this print because we already have good versions of that. So I just selected it and hit delete, and we'll just print this one, these. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple copies of this one. How many did they want? 3 each. So let's just make a couple more because this printer doesn't really care how many we have on here. So this one. So if I go like this and I click on this rotate, you know, we can kind of see what we're faced with. Print time is dramatically affected by the overall height of the part. So if I was really worried about it, I'd want to print it, you know, as low as possible. But I think what I'm wanting to do is do something like, you know, get it relatively flat to the bed and then rotate it this way, like this. So that way everything's kind of being built off of an angle. And nothing is, besides these little points here are really floating. So if we go to my support tab, oops, the support tab will work to whatever is selected. So if I go to the support tab over here, it's automatically lifting the part up in the Z, which definitely does not need to be that high, but there is a brim on here down. There's like a little skate is what they call it. So we have light, medium, and heavy settings. Always use heavy with the Frozen Sonic Mini because of its low exposure time. But again, I'm going to just bring that as close down as possible. And I'm just going to hit all and see what it does. So for some reason, it did not want to support anything down here at all, which is really strange to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go up underneath it so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to select this edge and support it in a couple different places. And so it's automatically putting those skates. And again, this is another one. So let's say if I want to delete this one, what I would do is I would say hit over here on this delete supports, and then you select it, it turns red. And then if you deselect from that, it'll go away. Oops. So let's see, go like this, you hit select, and then you click it again and it deletes it. So I'm going to do that again with this one and delete it again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put one, I'm going to go back to my add, and I'm going to put one that supports this point. So it's doing lots of weird stuff for me here. One that supports this point, and then one that comes off the side and supports that point. And I'm going to do the same over here. One that supports this point here and this point, and then one that comes off the center here and supports it going over that way. It has a mind of its own, but what do you expect for a free slicer? So there you go. Kind of combine those two. So, and I think the edit support, you can actually physically move this stuff in and out of the way or drag it down. But again, you don't have to get too crazy. So that's how I'd run those. I would, you know, if we really wanted to, we could zoom in on this and like try to add some supports in here. But like maybe just do like, it's not in there. What I want to do is I want to put in one of these little guys. Come on. some reason it will not let me. It's trying in some spots. You can see it kind of glitch. Just like that. So it's trying to work here. I don't know why it's having such a hard time letting me put these in here. But need to delete that one. So basically what I wanted to do is just kind of help support those from just like free floating. And so if I go in here, and I might be able to edit them. So I can, looks like I can drag these around. It's like maybe I just do something like that. Just kind of gradually work my way up. Basically, I basically just want to do those tips so it has something to grab onto. Does that make sense, Andrew? Mm-hmm. Okay. I know this is tedious, but this is such a tiny part. And the reason why I'm doing this before I copy it is because then once I copy it, it will hold on to these supports for my copies as well. All right, so we'll leave that like that. I'm going to remove this guy. And I feel pretty good about that now. I mean, that's going to be the best chance it has. So I'm just going to go back to here and I'm going to do my auto place, auto layout again. And then I'm going to add my copies. Put one extra one in there, and then we'll auto layout again. Okay. So we've got the copies, got everything in there. I'm actually going to delete these extra ones. Really no need for them. Because I think we have a couple of them already. Center. Why would it do that? Center. So once you have everything where you want it, you can hit slice. What this does is this gives you a preview of kind of what's happening as you work your way through. So those red areas are showing areas of where it might have a harder time. So if we go back up here and we look, okay, I don't want to play it. I just want to scroll. So it's saying that those overhangs might be an issue, is I think what it's trying to show us there. But I don't really have anything I don't want to put any more supports in there. So necessarily, I guess I could put some. I think it'll be okay. Okay. So from here, now that it's all sliced, it's going to be a total of 29 cents worth of material. It's going to take 36 minutes to print it. And we're going to go save to the flash drive. And we'll just say motor clamp parts. Save it to the flash drive. And then you'll go over to the printer, plug the USB drive in. It's on the back left-hand corner of the printer. You'll hit print, select the preview image of what we got. And then from there, the resin should be at least, I mean, this is, you can see is only 2 milliliters of resin. So there's most likely going to be enough resin in there for everything, but never fill the tank over like 3/4, between half and 3/4, because the platform actually drops into the tank. So that will obviously raise the material up when it drops in. So just make sure that you don't do anything, and that's it.